Hello everyone, we are back with the 7th series. We interviewed for you surf legend, world champion, surf photographers, shapers, and many more. We hope you like the series and please stay tuned for more amazing news. Mahalo! Aloha, welcome to the second episode of the 7th series of the Temple of Surf, the podcast. Today with us, big wave rider Bianca Valenti. We discuss with her about big waves, woman surfing, and much more. Hi Bianca, welcome to the show. Where are you today?
Thank you. I am in San Francisco at my house.
Fantastic. So today we're going to talk about many things. We're going to talk about, of course, surf, but surf equality, women surfing, and many other things, maybe surfboards. But the first thing that I would like to ask you is, in your opinion, what is the most important thing in surfing?
The most important thing in surfing is to enjoy the rides.
Exactly.
The true Italian spirit.
I like that.
Right?
Yes.
And just enjoy the beauty of surfing.
Yeah, as long as it lasts and make it last as much as possible, right?
That's right.
Yeah, I like this vision of life. You know, we can call it Italian, but I hope it's gonna be for many people out there.
That's right.
Stanley, we need to spread that.
No, but that's one thing I love about Italian people and the culture is how much they enjoy life.
What was your first proper surfboard? Like the one that really was an achievement for you to have?
Yeah.
You still have?
I wish I still had it. My first surfboard was it's actually a great story. My mother saw me standing up on my boogie board all the time.
Okay.
And she said, "Do you want to get a hard surfboard?" And I said, "Oh yeah, I'd love to." And so she said, "Okay, we can use $75." So we went around to all the surf shops and there was nothing for $75 from the used boards rack. But finally we found one and it was covered in skull and crossbones.
Okay.
And I was 7 years old and I said, "This is too scary, this board." And the guys at the surf shop said, "Come back tomorrow. It'll be all white." And so we said, okay. And went back, got the surfboard. And then we went right down to the beach called Doheny Beach in Dana Point. And she took me to the water's edge, my mom, but she doesn't go in the water. And so she said, "Don't make me come and rescue you." And I had that board for like a couple of years and it was perfect. Yeah, it was like a 5'7" and I was just 7 years old. So it worked well. And the other funny thing was that when we got down to the beach that day, a woman came running up the beach and said, "Was that board covered in skull and crossbones?"
Wow.
I said, "Yes." And she said, "Oh, right. That means I'm going to get some money because that was my board." So it was from a woman, Mary Hartman, and she has this cool surf shop in Dana Point called Girl in the Curl, which is one of the first, surf shops that was made for girls and women. And so she's a legend. And yeah, it was a special board, but I don't have it.
What happened to it?
Probably sold it or gave it to somebody else to share the joy.
Okay, but
yeah,
maybe that board still rides somewhere in the world,
It could be.
We never know.
Never know.
So from that board into a beautiful career, into many successes, right?
Yeah, definitely. It was funny because you said from that board and I immediately thought of my next board.
So what was the next board?
Yeah, I saved up all of my money. Like anytime I would earn money from chores or like get a Christmas gift or birthday, so I wanted a mini longboard. And Mark Ellis shaped it, and I didn't have enough money for any color on it, but he did a really cool color logo that was a beautiful picture of Killer Dana. That was a famous surf spot, which doesn't exist anymore because of the harbor in Dana Point. So, yeah, but that was just the beginning.
Okay, yeah, that is the beginning of of a lot of things, of course, of amazing surf experience and career, and as well of colored surfboard, right? Because you like that.
Yeah, I do it really is for my mom because she's always watching, and especially when I was younger. So she said, "Oh, I need you to have colors because I can see you more easily." And then I got hooked on the colors because it just makes me feel good when I look at it. So then it was fun.
Okay. So now we know the vaccine of the color strategy. It was
right.
It was for your mom to look at you.
Got to do it for your moms.
And now, like, everybody can look at you because still that color, the pink color, attracts
the pink. Yeah, the pink starburst, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. And it's easy too because my shaper, they all know, like, well, are you same colors? They don't ask me anymore. I'm like, yes, same colors.
Okay. What was the best wave of your career so far?
Best wave. I got a really great wave the other day. Like 5 days ago. Yeah. There's so many best waves, but I was at an outer reef in Oahu surfing with other women in big waves in the Red Bull Magnitude event. Okay. And it was a really hard spot to surf because it's out about, I don't know, I guess it would be like 1 mile or 3 kilometers out. And so whenever I surf a new spot, especially with big waves, you're so far out, it's really hard to get in position for the wave. So all morning we were getting cleaned up by sets but I didn't give up. And so I kept asking different people who had experience at the spot, like, hey, do you have good lineups? Because if you know the lineups and you can get in the spot, that's half of the battle. And then a friend gave me his lineups and he had just gotten a good wave. And then this wave came and I knew I was in the spot, but it was windy and it was scary because it was a really big wave. And I was like, I'm just going to go. I got to try, And so as I was paddling into it and standing up, it was like I was believing in myself 1,000,000%, but also really scared and sketched out and didn't know if it was possible. And as I started to stand up and drop down, this was like 4-story building wave, right? Big wave. The wind's coming up and I looked and I saw a really steep section. And so I decided, I better grab my rail because it was on the backside wave. And so for more stability. And then I was airdropping and I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to go down. But, I was committed. And then my fins caught into the wave. And then I hit a bump and launch, but I just kept pressing down because the wind was coming up. I kept pressing down. And then I let go of my rail and was able to draw my bottom turn and then made it to the channel. And and everybody in the channel was like, wow, that was a beautiful wave. I was so busy focusing that I was just seeing everyone's responses. And I was like, ooh, okay. Wow. And then I saw the videos and I was like, dang, that was a really beautiful wave. And I surfed it really well. So those moments are just like, that's what's so fun about surfing is you can keep having these moments every single day.
Yeah, amazing. And thank you for sharing, and a lot of aerodynamics, I guess, in that wave, because between the wind pushing and it's like,
and big waves, like I don't know, who knows how big it was, but it's like it was big. At least 5 of me.
Okay.
Yeah, it was. It doesn't get any more challenging than surfing at that wave. So yeah, I'm excited to go back when there's no wind.
Maybe, but.
Maybe or wind, whatever, yeah.
Whatever, as long as the stoke is there, right? So
yeah, the stoke is there, exactly.
Maybe like a very genuine question for people like me that do not surf big wave and people out there that do not surf big wave. What does it take, in your opinion, to surf big waves? Is it only a matter of courage, or you need to be a bit crazy, or you need to be well prepared? What does it take?
Yeah, a little bit of, I mean, definitely, it takes a lot of work. You definitely need to be a little bit crazy, but the crazy could also be called just like a dreamer or somebody who believes and sees the possibility. But the preparation is actually very extensive. You need to have the right equipment to start, which is like in big waves, we ride big boards. Like they're called guns, and they're, I ride about, like, I rode a 9'2" board today, so that's 3 meters. And because whenever you're catching the wave, you need to be able to match the speed, and you have to catch the wave. So you need to have the right equipment, and then there's the breath work is probably the most important, and it's a constant practice. Like, it's every single day. And you need to study the forecast constantly. You need to, be able to handle high pressure situations, but you can also learn how to do that, which is what's so cool. And so I think in order to surf big waves, the first step is just going out in, if you're comfortable in 1 foot waves, then you go out in 2 foot waves and you give it a try. And you don't always catch a wave, and you don't always make the wave. But if you give it a try, just being out there, you become more comfortable. So then maybe you catch, a 1.75 foot wave. And then the next time it's 2 foot waves, you can do it. But it's like, it's a progression. It's a progression, and it's different for everyone. Some people are more of the crazy and just totally fearless. And other people like me, I'm very calculated because I know I want to do it forever or as long as possible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And so, the injury prevention is really important, because one wipeout can send you to the hospital or even worse, death. So I take waves that I think I have a good chance of making.
Okay.
And I'm looking at my line, but I'm not just blindly going, okay, I'm going to do it. Who knows what'll happen?
Yeah. I guess that would be too crazy. So.
Well, it depends. I mean, we need some of those people too, right?
Yeah, of course. And did you ever experience like a very scary moment?
Yeah, that's how I got into it, to the bigger waves. Actually, I almost died here. I live in San Francisco at Ocean Beach. It's like the suburbs of San Francisco, and it's in the western part, right? There's a big long beach here with big waves, but also we have the bay here where the Golden Gate Bridge is, and the Bay Bridge, and that's 400 square miles. It's huge. So every single day when the tide changes and it goes low and high and low and high, all that water moves in and out of the bay and along Ocean Beach, which means Ocean Beach is not just a wave or just a big wave. It's also a crazy river. And I paddled out. I started exploring in this area when I was in university. And my friends told me rule number 1 of Ocean Beach, the wave's always bigger than it looks. And I get to Ocean Beach this day, and nobody was out, and it looked just perfect. Peaks, no people, offshore. And so I made it out. I got lucky making it out easily. I didn't have the right equipment. I wasn't prepared. But I was lucky in paddling out in the rip. I timed that well. And basically a huge whitewater came, and I duck dove under that thinking, wow, that was really big. And then the next wave was like a wave I had never seen before in my life. It was the size of a house, and it was just like heaving and going square. And it was about to break directly in front of me. So I was going to, take the full impact. And I just tried to duck dive because I only had a really thin comp light leash on my shortboard. And I got spun around, twisting, turning, flipping, getting throttled and ragdolled. And I had never felt like that kind of power or, anything like that before. I opened my eyes. All I saw was dark. Oh. And I had no idea which way was up. And then my foot touched the sand. And with the very last energy I had left, I pushed off the sand and swam. I think I took 3 really slow strokes because I was like, it was a beat down. And right before I got to the surface, I thought, if there's another wave behind this, I'm going to die. It's just a fact. And I didn't even have any energy to feel any way about it. It was just like a fact. And then I came up and there was no wave. And I was gasping for air, convulsing, like my neck, my fingers, the blood was getting pumping again. And then I went to the shore and I stood there because I knew I didn't belong out there in those conditions at that time. And I stood there and I looked and I was, I said to myself, I want to surf those waves. I know I have the skills to do it because I'm a really good surfer. And I knew it took a lot of training and the right equipment. And so that was the moment where I decided to commit fully and I never looked back.
Okay, but then, from a kind of bad experience, transform into a good one. No?
Yeah, which is, I guess that can be something that differentiates people, is a lot of people would have that bad experience and never go surfing again. Or like my friend who I was with, he moved to Montana and became a fly fisherman.
Okay.
And
it's an option.
Yeah, he was just like, forget this. But that, I guess that could be rare in people, is to have something like that happen and then want to go out and take on that challenge.
Yeah, but like in big wave surfing, of course, a lot of people give up. But the stories out there of people that had kind of nearly that experience and then still doing it, it's a lot of people,
Maya Gabera.
I think of Maya Gabera, I think also Justine Dupont.
Yeah.
And Nazare recently, and then many others. So at the end, we like to share those experiences of the people that really use it to go back and into the water and surf again, rather than the one that changed completely their job and their life. And
that's right. Although, there's no one answer, and I still love my friend. He likes surfing small waves when he comes and visits.
Okay, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
As long as surf.
But it usually takes a pretty fierce person and someone who sees that possibility to commit to a challenge like the huge waves here at Ocean Beach or Mavericks or Nazare. Yeah.
Big names of waves, of course, legendary. And so in your life, you met a lot of people, a lot of surfers. Was a meeting with one of them that was particularly meaningful for you?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like today I was surfing with my friend who's less known but an amazing surfer, Ryan Seelbach. And he is like one of the pioneers at Mavericks, and he lives in my neighborhood, and we have so much fun together. He's 6'6", I'm 5'4", and so I think we both have always felt like we don't look like every other person in the water, but which maybe brought us together. But today he was catching such great waves, having so much fun, and he does it for the love. And then the other person who I was surfing with who's super inspiring is Grant Twiggy Baker. And he is very well known in the surfing world and has many achievements, but also just still has this love and this joy and has dedicated his life to surfing. And so, I'm always inspired by anyone who's got that stoke and good vibes.
Good vibes. Very
yeah.
We go back to the
right?
Italian part.
Yeah.
Exactly. let's talk about your fight for equality in equal pay. Of course, maybe not a lot of people know out there about what you have done for equal pay. So, of course, we have to be all thankful for the achievement that you were able to push. And what makes you so proud of what you were able to achieve?
Well, I mean, the fight's not over yet, right? But because I think I'm proud of the way we were able to set out a goal, which was to earn equal prize money, and how we were able to navigate and achieve that goal by working with the state of California. And then what's been really interesting is that after we won that little victory, we took a step back and looked at how athletes make money and how athletes can support themselves to keep getting better at surfing and other outdoor sports, and to have the opportunities to do so. And we realized that prize money really was only 10 to 30% of people's incomes. And so now we're looking at all the outdoor sports, because it's very similar, in team sports, like in football, soccer, you're in a league and you have a salary and healthcare. And, but with surfing and outdoor sports, we have random one-off contests, but you're not part of a league and you don't get a salary. You get prize money if you do well in the events. And so it's been really interesting to learn about how different people are supporting their surfing careers. Mine started with my Italian father. We opened a restaurant together called Valenti and Company. And, but yeah, that's it. We realized that, there's this other part of the pie that's 90% of the compensation, anywhere from 70 to 90% of the compensation that's, through endorsements or coaching, or, the coolest way that I see athletes making money is from their own entrepreneurial endeavors. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's the next steps is the fight for all athletes, because the men are in the same position too. Just like if you look at Twiggy, I was surfing with earlier, he's got his line of surfboards. He's got endorsements with different companies, but he also has a wife and a child. And, the prize money only lasts as long as you can stay at the top of the podium. So to be a CEO of your own brand and to become a better surfer every day is something that very, very few athletes are successful at. And that's what I want to see change is I want to see more women athletes achieving their entrepreneurial goals so that I want to see more women in the water also become business owners. And to be able to support their surfing with their own businesses so that they have the power.
Yeah. Actually, it's quite complicated topic, right? Because
you can tell, because I was like, how do I say this correctly? Yeah.
Because I'm starting to think about what you're talking about. And, like people out there can say, oh, those are just surfers, right? But then the understanding is behind professional surfer, you need to be entrepreneur at a certain point of your life.
Right.
So those are entrepreneurs that are surfing in a certain way.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And it's to run a small business, like, for example, a restaurant, you have to give everything and be there 7 days a week. So yeah, I'm curious to solve the mystery and create more opportunities for women in business and in sport, but mostly for women to use their own businesses to support their athleticism, so that way we can continue to catch better waves and inspire people.
And I think somebody that does that pretty well is Kasia Miedo.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, she's amazing. We grew up together.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah, her path was interesting because she was a Roxy ambassador, but it was actually, she did modeling for them too, and the modeling was what paid really well. And then through her experiences, she was inspired to create wetsuits for women made by women, and because she saw the inner workings in a lot of the brands is like there's men making the wetsuits for women, and so she was just like, these things are always kind of missing from the wetsuit. So she took charge and created her own brand. So I wear her wetsuits, and very proudly.
Fantastic.
But also I know, and also just because she's my close friend, there's amazing joy in owning your own brand, but it is a whole new world when what you've been focusing on all your life is your sport. Then to have to switch over to business is not an easy thing for anybody to do.
No, yeah, exactly. Not everybody can do, in effect.
Right. Yeah. Most people who are really good at business have been doing business all their life, not surfing all their life.
Exactly. Even if surfing all your life maybe is more rewarding, but who knows?
Who knows? It might be stressful too, because if you don't know, how you get some injury and you don't have healthcare.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. So yeah, but there is a lot of shared mentality with big wave surfers and with entrepreneurs. And actually, if you want a really cool book on business and big waves, it's called Make Your Own Waves, and it's written by my friend Lewis Patler, and it's mostly about surfing, but he draws really interesting parallels between people who surf big waves and see the possibility and go for it, and also the world's best entrepreneurs.
Okay, I will have a look.
It's a fun read, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good suggestion, book suggestion.
Inspiring, yeah.
And okay, so many questions, but I'll I'll try to go back to the equal pay adventure. Let's put it like that.
Okay.
Right? What was the hardest moment in that process?
Man, oh gosh, there was a lot of hard moments. The most proud moment was to see the power of women coming together and staying united, and how we can make a difference when we support each other. We help elevate everyone. And the most challenging moments were, in the beginning, I was just afraid that my biggest fear was that by advocating for women to get into the event and then later to request equal pay, my biggest fears were that we would ruin the event for everyone, that people wouldn't hold the event, which is pretty lame to think about. And then it actually happened. So, but then, it was a beautiful learning experience, because I realized that what is a big problem today, gets solved, and we solved the problem of the equal prize money. And then tomorrow people forget about it and it becomes the norm. So, it was hard just to manage my own emotions and to take care of myself and to not take things personally when our requests were so fair and what's right. And when we would meet resistance, it was a challenge to just stay on the course and keep focusing on my surfing and to realize that, hey, whenever I catch a really big wave, that shows that women can do anything. So that's the most powerful tool in my arsenal, right? And just to keep growing that love for the sport and not to let anything, interfere with it, whether it's fair or unfair or what's right or, So, there were so many challenging moments. Yeah.
It's a long battle that
what I learned is that it's so important to celebrate each tiny victory.
Yeah.
to enjoy it and then to use it as momentum to continue to fight the good fight and try to make the world a better place for the little Stellas and little Biancas out there, the little kids.
Definitely. I totally agree with you. It's philosophy of life. So as simple as that, right?
Yeah.
To be happier every day.
Yeah.
And so we said before that in surfing in general, like men and women, like it's important to have like and to be entrepreneur, to have something that stays after the competitive surfing finishes.
That's right.
And this applies to men and women. But for women surfing specifically, what is next to achieve in terms of equality, inclusion?
Yeah, the next to achieve is to, I think the next achievement is to see, we want to see more opportunities for women. So like, let's say there's an event like a pipeline. Mm-hmm. We just surfed in an awesome event, the Dahui Backdoor Shootout. And we were the first ever women's team to compete in the event, which was incredible. And the event had 8 teams. And each team has 4 people, so 32 people total, and 4 women of the 32. So I think that what I would love to see is 16 women, 16 men, and even have it be a team setup where it's 2 men, 2 women on each team, like in the Olympics, and same at, and to have opportunities in the same conditions and to have the equal prize money. And so that's where I think the development starts, is that every single event, because surfing events are held in public lands, I think that, public resources need to be distributed evenly and to give everyone the opportunity. So I think the next step would be to see equal number of opportunities for all athletes in each event. Yeah, and then we're going to see the progression of the sport, because I don't know if you saw the Dahui Backdoor Shootout, but I was on my team was Bethany Hamilton, Kayla Kennelly, Moana Jones, and if you saw Bethany Hamilton with one arm getting these amazing waves, and just like, who needs 2 arms? We're just skimming the surface, and it's so inspiring. And so that's one of the parts of competitive sport that's so fun, is that you get the opportunity to see the world's best athletes compete with each other and against each other. And that's when you get these inspiring rides and you see the sport progress. So that's what I'm excited for right now. And I'm also just loving all of the support from the men. Like, that feels like fresh and it's amazing. So I think everything just keeps getting better.
It seems equal pay it is a great victory, but so many things yet have to be to come together.
Right. So that would be another victory. Would be that the work that we've done in surfing can be applied to other outdoor sports. So to beach volleyball and to mountain biking, cycling, any sport that takes place in the outdoors. We want to see them get equal prize money too and have the same number of participants. So that's what I'm excited to work on.
Go Bianca.
Yeah.
No, definitely. But again, there are so many things that the federation or the various competitions and tournaments, that they can really apply to make the difference, right? You were saying about the number of people in the water, but because it inspires people, right?
Yeah.
So when you see when other women, they can see women surfing, then they might decide to go for the sport.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I think there's a saying, she can be what she can see. But then the trick is also being what you can't see and what you can just imagine.
No, but it's good to project
feel what you can
ourselves.
see, but also think bigger than what you see too.
Of course, you can see maybe a giant wave and you want a bigger one, like
yeah, exactly.
It's a matter of progression, as we said before. As long as you do it not too much crazy and you go step by step and you don't go and jump on a big wave.
Smart.
Yeah, it makes sense. And of course, like visibility, for fair visibility between men and women allows that for women to be able to see other women and not
just there's another important there's another important kind of joke that's like, if you didn't get it on video, it didn't happen. So like if I catch a wave and it wasn't videoed, nobody will know that it happened. So that visibility really is a big part of it too, and a really important one.
Yeah, I saw that documentary of Garrett McNamara about the
100-foot wave.
Yeah. And I remember that surfer that I don't remember his name that took like a giant wave at the last minute where there was that incident of Maya, and so yes. And nobody was looking at him or Garrett. And
well,
so nobody was able to catch the wave.
Right. But then at the same time, as an athlete, like, you always got to do it for the love, but you try to have your videographer set up and ready to go and focusing on you no matter what. But at least that surfer will always remember that wave in their heart.
Yeah, definitely. But because it was not on video, then it didn't win.
Yeah, it didn't count. Yeah. Maybe it didn't happen then.
Maybe it didn't happen.
Who knows?
Yeah, we should check on that.
There's some philosophy in that one too. Yeah.
Of course. So what are your future projects? Is something specific that you are working on?
Yeah, well, I would love to get my Italian citizenship.
Yes, nice.
That's very important. No, but I'm working.
How does it work? You should have it, right?
So my father's from Italy. He moved to America when he was 21. But so now they've made it easier to go about it online.
Yeah.
But I need a birth certificate from his hometown, from where he was born in Valtellina in the Alps. So, and then there's a lot of paperwork, let's say, but I would love to surf in the Olympics for Italy in the next games into the wave is Chopu in Tahiti. Yeah, that's a wave that would favor my surfing and my joy. It would make me happy to be in that event because I love those kind of heavy waves. And I'm working on, we've got 2 movies. So, there's a documentary called She Change. There's a Hollywood film that Charlize Theron bought the rights to tell our New York Times article. And we've got an amazing team there with Nikki Caro as the director. She's a big deal. She directed the Mulan live action film, Whale Rider. She's making a movie right now with J-Lo. The writer's Becky Johnston. So, and another amazing woman running the team, Beth Kono. It's this power women who want to create the best surf movie that's ever been made. So it'll be the Hollywood version. Okay. But that's like really a dream come true, because when I was a little girl, that's all I wanted to do was go to see women surfing on the big screen. And so the documentary is the story of our fight for equal pay, and the Hollywood film is the fiction version of that same story, more or less. And with the documentary, it's also, we have an amazing team, Sachi Cunningham, who is an Emmy award-winning journalist and dear friend of mine, and one of the most amazing water photographers out here at Ocean Beach. Luis Cejoyos, he's a Oscar-winning documentary filmmaker. He made The Cove and Game Changers, and And so just telling those stories and sharing these stories to inspire people. And then I'm also working on my book with my amazing co-author, who's also an Italian citizen. Her name's Elizabeth DeClaire. Okay. And we are pumped up. Yep. She loves riding like I love surfing.
Okay.
And then, amazing. And then the other big project is fighting for all athletes to have things like healthcare and, you know, to have a paycheck that can help them buy a little house at some point, or, you know, nothing. We're not looking to be super crazy like bankers on Wall Street, but
no.
Okay. But
the essentials.
But just to be able to, you know, feed your children or your dogs and get maternity leave and these basic needs that which are a huge part of why most people choose their careers, right? They're like, oh, I'm going to work here because there's great benefits. Well, so nobody ever says that about surfing or about any outdoor sport. You kind of just fall in love and get good at something, and then you keep doing it. And if you're really obsessed like me, you figure out a way to do it, and then realize you're entrepreneurial.
Exactly. Yeah. And why not a nice Italian restaurant? You know, it's always good. A nice choice of wine.
And by the way, my father was honored with the Tre Bicchieri. They honored 2 chefs in all of California. He was one. So just like last week. So that was awesome because he's my favorite chef, but he's a true master craftsman and loves cooking. You know, he goes in his garden in the mornings and then he goes to the restaurant, starts prepping the sauces and dicing vegetables. And then he's there, you know, from noon every day till 10 at night. Then on Mondays, he goes, cleans the hoods, then does the book. So I think that having one parent like that
is inspiring.
Very inspiring because he always does it for the love, but also he faces many struggles too as a small business owner. And so it's also like wanting to make things better for everyone, whether it's a chef or whatever kind of small business owner, but, you know, just wanting to make things better.
So you're keeping yourself very busy. If you need help to go in Valtellina to catch that birth certificate, let me know.
Okay.
We want you to compete. I want you to compete. I'm talking for the Italian people in Tahiti for the Italian team. Yeah. We need a lot of.
If you know some people there,
I don't know anybody on the federation, but there are like a lot of people like Claire de Villacqua from surfing in Australia, but of course Italian. Angelo Bonumelli in Costa Rica, and then the one abroad, I don't know. Then there are of course Italian surfers like Leonardo Fioravanti and others.
Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah, cool. So we're gonna finish our interview with a short Q&A session. So please answer the first thing that comes up to your mind.
Okay.
Everybody.
Like rapid fire.
Huh?
Rapid fire.
Rapid fire. And everybody answers to the same question. So they are common for everybody. So the best surfboard that you ever ridden?
The best surfboard that I ever ridden was my 9.2 today Pearson Arrow 9'2" tri-fin.
Legendary.
Yeah.
Very, very nice. Your favorite shaper?
Bob Pearson in Santa Cruz. His Pearson Arrow surfboards. He's amazing. He's like a Zen master.
Yes.
It helps me have more fun and enjoy surfing more and to understand how, you know, hydrodynamics work.
Personal question. Your favorite song?
Favorite song? Right now, I'm listening to Luxurious by Gwen Stefani.
Okay.
Got a nice beat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's Enya.
Okay, fantastic. It's okay. Favorite surf spot?
Favorite surf spot today was Mavericks, but usually my favorite surf spot is wherever I'm going surfing each day.
Okay. Okay, I like that. I like that
Yeah.
answer. As long as there are ways. Favorite woman surfer of all time?
Ooh, that's a good one. Favorite woman surfer of all time. I'm going to go with, I hate to say, but it's myself. But favorite woman surfer of all time is I think I love Carissa Moore. She's so powerful, but also her personality. She's such a true champion and has that stoic and aloha spirit.
Yeah.
I'd say Carissa, yeah.
Fantastic. And the last question is a little bit unusual. It has nothing to do with the surf or surfboards. I would like to know your best relationship advice.
My best relationship advice is that the most important relationship in life, it's really important to remember, the most important relationship is the one you have with yourself. And so it's important to always take care of yourself and love yourself as much as possible every single day. Yeah. And so I believe that love comes from within and can be shared.
Definitely. Yeah. If you don't love yourself, how can you love other people? Right?
So that's my relationship advice, is love yourself more than anybody else. And don't forget that. And that no relationship between any two people is the same between any two people. So I usually don't give people advice, but I will listen and say, sorry, that sucks if it's hard, or I'll be inspired to see how things flow. And simplify, like a good relationship should simplify and enhance your life.
Yeah.
Like my relationship with my dog or with surfing.
Any kind of relationship applies to everything.
Yeah, totally.
Cool. Fantastic. Thank you for being with me on the show.
Thank you. All right.
Looking forward to talk to you very soon.
Likewise. Ciao. Ci vediamo.
Presto. Ciao.
Grazie.
Bye bye.
Hi, it's me again. I hope you enjoyed our today's episode. If you want to know more about us, please follow www.thetempleofsurf.com and all our social media. Mahalo!